time. It's time for the Billy Flynn Experience.
Thank you so much for joining the Billy Flynn Experience. I am Billy Flynn. We've taken a kind of like a break over the past couple of weeks to refocus things and come up with some really, really good content. But like I said, we took some time off to kind of like refocus. But now we're back on the ground. We're back on the grind. Once again, thank you so much for joining me. Today is Thursday. And tonight's podcast was written and produced to be something other than the topic that has taken hold of. I don't know, the last couple of hours, I would say. And, I don't know, we're going to just start it off. Rest in peace, young Dolph. A rapper from the South. I don't know. You say the South. I guess you could say the South. 36 years old. Of course, his government name is Adolph Robert Thornton Jr. Gunned down today in his hometown. I'm trying to figure out where is his hometown. I didn't. Not really familiar with him. Memphis, Tennessee. I'm familiar with some of his music. I don't know, maybe one or two tracks, but I never really was into his music. But I find his untimely death very, very interesting, to say the least, because it seems as though the occupation of hip hop, or being a rapper, or being in this genre of music, seems like a very, very dangerous occupation. It seems as though it's trumping high blood pressure, diabetes, and other things that kill black people. And it just seems, again, that this genre of music has become very, very dangerous. It's a detriment. Because it's either these young men, young Dolph is not really young, but I could still say it's either they're dying of drug overdoses, or they're getting gunned down. And it seems that's what the trend has become. And I find it very disheartening, because I love hip hop music. I love all music, but I grew up at a time where hip hop where rap and hip hop was just starting. So I guess you can say, for the most part, I'm an old head, as what they call us. But I still was there when it all first started. And if you compare the style and the genre of music from the inception to where it is now, it just seems as though this genre of music, which we call hip hop, it's kind of dying off. I don't think people, unless something change, I don't think people are going to be really jockeying for this music. I think it's going to just play itself out. But there's definitely a change that needs to take place. And what some of the reports is, why, as We're gonna go to TMZ because TMZ was the first news source that actually broke this bit of news. Okay, here it is. It says young Dolph has been shot and killed in his hometown. TMZ has confirmed. The rapper was gunned down Wednesday in Memphis, Tennessee, outside a local cookie store. And there's already a massive police presence with people recording the aftermath. A video from the crime scene shows his car parked outside the shop while police investigate. Fox 13 Memphis was first to report Dolph's death. Okay, so it was the news source Fox 13 in Memphis, Tennessee, and not TMZ. But it goes on and says, a source says Dolph went into the store and a vehicle pulled up, firing through a front window and striking the rapper. Young Dolph has been targeted in the past, back in 2017. And I guess this is what a lot of people are saying now, is because of his ongoing beef with some of the other rappers in Tennessee. But it says, it continues to say back in 2017, he was struck by multiple bullets outside a store or shoe store in Hollywood, getting hit in the arm and buttocks, requiring surgery. Earlier that same year, Dolph's SUV was shot at over 100 times while he was in Charlotte, North Carolina, in a shooting that saw an arrest warrant issued for a black youngster. I guess that's another young rapper, who later turned himself in. The charges against By were eventually dropped. As Dolph explained to us, in the wake of that shooting, he dropped $600,000 for a pair of bulletproof vehicles. And he chalked it up to hell of gunfire, to jealousy and hate because he's rich and successful. Last time we got Dolph out was last time we got Dolph out was, I don't understand how this is written, but last time we got Dolph out was in 2019. He talked to our cameras about the Lakers and Juice WRLD's death. Dolph leaves behind a son and daughter. He was 36 years old. And that's the end of that one. That story from TMZ. Again, the original podcast was supposed to be about the baby and Danny Lee, and the incredible mess that they got themselves into. And I guess to piggyback on the death of young Dolph, not making a connection with death, but it's just, again, it's the same players in the same genre of music. The Baby, who's a hip hop artist, again from that region. Well, is he from North Carolina or maybe Tennessee? Let me see my notes. I don't even think I got that down there. But his original name, his government name is Jonathan Lindell Kirk. He's 29 years old, and this was one of the hottest news feed for the past, 4 or 5 days. Their ongoing situation. Again, the Baby and Danny Lee. Danny Lee is also a hip hop artist, and she's a choreographer, a dancer, a songwriter. And what made this story interesting to me, and my reaction to it, was because of how it became like a national story via social media. And it seems that's the newest clout now, where these so-called celebs get into a whatever situation with their significant other or their family members, and then they post everything on social media. And I think that is the new clout now. That is the new way of keeping one in the minds of the masses, or their fans, or their so-called fans. But anyways, as I said, this particular story struck me because of, again, of all of the information put out on the different social media platforms about their domestic situation, where the baby says to Danny Lee that he wants her out of his home, as she is with their child that she recently had, like 3 months ago, I think. And it's not so much as the fact that they're arguing and they're acting childish and putting it on social media. It's just the fact that there's a child involved. There's a newborn child involved. And again, it struck me very deeply because of the fact that what I think a lot of people don't understand is that what we're witnessing on social media between the baby and Danny Lee is a dysfunction, is a toxic relationship, and it seems as though it's, again, a generational curse. I know Danny Lee is she's born in Miami, but her family, her mother, father comes from Dominican Republic. Dominican Republic is a developing country, but she was born in Miami, so I guess she's an American citizen, maybe. But her parents are from Dominican Republic, so her upbringing, I guess, is in both places, in Miami and also in Dominican Republic, I guess. But the point of the matter is that, again, their toxic relationship and they having a child, a newborn child, developing in this environment. And I started thinking to myself, I was like, that's very, very, I know what that situation. I was trying to think of the word, and it came to me. It's called epigenetics. Look it up. Google it. Epigenetics. EPIGENETICS. And we're talking about a generational curse. I'll read a little bit. And the general definition of what epigenetics is. Okay, it says genes play an important role in your health, but so do your behavior, environment, such as what you eat and how physically active you are. Epigenetics is the study of how your behaviors and environment can cause changes that affect the way your genes work. Unlike genetic changes, epigenetic changes are reversible and do not change your DNA sequence, but they can change how your body reads a DNA sequence. Gene expression refers to how often or when proteins are created from the instructions within your genes. While genetic changes can alter which protein is made, epigenetic changes affect gene expression to turn genes on and off. Since your environment and behaviors such as diet and exercises can result in epigenetic changes, it is easy to see the connections between your genes and your behaviors and environment. Basically, what it's saying is that, especially when you are a fetus within the mother's womb, or a very, very freshly newborn baby, their behavior is shaped at such an early age from their environment, whether they're in the womb or they're actually in life outside of the womb. So what they're doing to this child possibly is starting another cycle of toxicity And that's what I find very, very disheartening. And it just, I don't know, it just seems as though we're living in a very, very dangerous time right now. I don't know. But again, I would like to say rest in peace to young Dolph. His untimely demise. And again, there need to be some changes. What do you think? Thank you so much again for joining the Billy Flynn Experience. Have a wonderful, wonderful rest of the week. Be safe during the weekend, and we will be back with you again soon. Have a great day.